The rain moved slowly across the city streets, washing the dust into thin rivers along the road, while people rushed past with their heads down and their minds full of their own worries. Near an old bus stop, a woman named Anna sat on a cold bench with her back straight and her arms wrapped tightly around her small daughter. The bench was cracked and rough, but Anna stayed still, as if moving might take away the little safety she had found. Her daughter Mia leaned against her chest, quiet and tired, listening to the sound of rain hitting the metal roof above them. Anna's face showed lines that had come too early, shaped by long nights and heavy thoughts. Her clothes were clean but worn, washed many times by hand and dried wherever she could find space. She watched people pass, some talking on phones, some laughing, some arguing, but none stopping. Anna had learned that looking too hopeful only made the waiting harder. She focused instead on breathing slowly and keeping Mia warm. Not long ago, life had looked different. Anna remembered waking up early for work, packing simple meals, and walking Mia to school with rushed kisses and soft promises. She remembered the small apartment that smelled of soap and morning light. When her job ended and bills grew larger, she believed it would be temporary. She sold what she could and asked for help where pride allowed. Weeks passed, then months, and doors closed one by one. By the time she realized how far she had fallen, the ground was already beneath her feet. Mia shifted in her arms and looked up with wide eyes that carried more understanding than a child should have. Anna smiled gently and brushed hair away from Mia's face, hiding her fear behind calm movements. She had promised herself that no matter where they slept, her daughter would feel loved and protected. That promise was the only thing that never changed. The rain grew heavier as afternoon faded, and the city lights flickered on one by one. Anna considered moving to find shelter, but her legs felt weak and the streets felt endless. That was when she noticed a man standing a short distance away. He was not watching her like others did. His eyes were calm, steady, and thoughtful, as if he was seeing a full story instead of a single moment. The man walked closer and stopped at a respectful distance. He was older, with gray hair and simple clothes that showed careful use rather than neglect. He did not rush his words or raise his voice over the rain. He offered a small bag with food inside and placed it on the bench beside Anna. She hesitated, then nodded once and pulled the bag closer, whispering thanks that barely carried through the air. The man sat at the far end of the bench, leaving space between them. He spoke only a few words about the weather and the long day, then fell quiet. The silence felt different from the usual kind. It was not heavy or uncomfortable. It felt patient. Mia looked at him with curiosity, and the man smiled softly at her, not asking her name, not asking her story. After a moment, the man reached into his coat and pulled out a small metal key. It was old, scratched, and heavier than it looked. He held it for a second, as if remembering something, then placed it gently into Anna's hand. The metal felt warm against her skin, surprising her. She looked up, confused and alert, her instincts awake. The man told her about a house near the edge of the city, hidden behind trees and quiet roads. He said it had been empty for a long time, untouched and forgotten. He explained that the key opened a side door and that the house still stood strong despite the years. His voice was calm and sure, not rushed, not dramatic. He gave directions slowly, repeating them once to be certain she remembered. Anna wanted to ask why he was helping her, how he knew about the house, and what he expected in return. Before the questions could leave her mouth, the man stood up. He told her she owed him nothing. He said some places wait for the right people, and some people arrive when they are needed most. Then he stepped away, disappearing into the rain without looking back. Anna sat frozen, staring at the key resting in her palm. Her heart beat fast, torn between doubt and a fragile spark of hope. She had learned to be careful, to trust actions more than words. Yet something about the man's presence stayed with her, calm and steady, like a memory she could not place. That night, Anna and Mia found temporary shelter under a covered walkway. Anna barely slept, holding the key and turning it over in her fingers again and again. Every sound made her alert, every thought pulled her in a different direction. She wondered if the house was real or just another story meant to fade by morning. She wondered if taking the risk was kinder or crueler than staying where they were. When morning came, the rain softened into a gray mist. Anna stood slowly, her muscles aching, and packed their few belongings. She looked at Mia, who smiled sleepily and trusted her without question. That trust pushed Anna forward. She followed the directions she had memorized, step by step, leaving the familiar streets behind. The city thinned as they walked, buildings giving way to trees and quiet roads. The air felt different, cleaner, heavier with silence. Anna's thoughts raced as her feet kept moving. She feared disappointment, yet hope walked beside her, quiet but present. She did not know what waited at the end of the path. She only knew that whatever she found would change the way she understood kindness, loss, and the meaning of a door left unopened for so long. Anna and Mia walked for a long time as the city slowly faded behind them and the sounds of traffic turned into distant echoes. The road became narrow and uneven, bordered by tall trees that leaned toward each other like quiet guards. Anna held Mia's hand firmly, feeling her small fingers squeeze back with trust and curiosity. Each step forward felt heavy with questions, yet lighter than the steps she had taken in weeks. The directions the stranger gave stayed clear in Anna's mind, repeating like a soft voice guiding her forward. Turn after the old sign, follow the cracked road, stop near the broken fence. When Anna saw the fence leaning at an angle, her heart began to race. She slowed her steps and looked around, half expecting someone to appear and tell her she was wrong. Behind the fence stood a narrow path, almost hidden by grass and low branches. The path led deeper into the trees where sunlight struggled to reach the ground. Mia looked up at Anna with wide eyes, asking silently if this was the place. Anna nodded gently and led her forward, pushing aside branches with careful hands. At the end of the path, the house appeared. It was larger than Anna expected, old but strong, with walls faded by time and windows covered in dust. Ivy climbed along one side, and the roof sagged slightly but did not look broken. The place felt quiet, not empty, as if it was waiting rather than abandoned. Anna stopped and stood still for a moment, listening. There was no sound except the wind moving through the leaves. Mia tugged her hand softly, excitement mixing with caution. Anna took a deep breath and walked closer, feeling her heart pound with every step. The front door was locked and heavy, just as the man had said. Anna walked around the side of the house and found a smaller door partly hidden behind tall bushes. Her hand trembled as she pulled the key from her pocket. The metal felt colder now, heavier with meaning. She placed the key into the lock and turned it slowly. The door opened with a low sound, stiff but willing. A rush of cool air came from inside, carrying the smell of old wood and dust. Anna stepped in carefully, holding Mia close. The light from outside spilled into the hallway, revealing wooden floors covered in dirt but not broken, walls still standing straight, and a long corridor stretching ahead. They moved slowly through the house, room by room. The living area held old furniture covered in cloth, frozen in time. The kitchen had empty shelves and a table with one chair pushed back, as if someone had stood up and never returned. Upstairs, the bedrooms were quiet and untouched, with faded curtains and beds made long ago. Anna felt strange emotions rise in her chest. The house was empty, yet it did not feel forgotten. It felt protected. Mia explored carefully, her footsteps soft, her voice quiet. She laughed once, a small sound that filled the space like light. In one room at the back of the house, Anna found a small desk with a drawer slightly open. Inside lay a stack of papers tied with string. Anna hesitated, then picked them up and read slowly. The papers spoke of the house, of its care, of time and waiting. A name appeared again and again, written neatly and clearly. The name matched the stranger who had given her the key. Anna sat down on the floor, the weight of the moment settling into her bones. She began to understand that this place was not given by chance. The stranger had planned this long before she ever sat on that bench. Tears filled her eyes, not from sadness, but from the deep feeling of being seen. That night, Anna and Mia slept inside the house. It was the first time in months they slept without fear of being moved or watched. Anna lay awake for a while, listening to the quiet, feeling the solid walls around her. She wondered who the stranger really was and why he chose her. The questions stayed, but the fear slowly faded. The next morning, sunlight filled the rooms, revealing dust dancing in the air. Anna cleaned as much as she could with what little she had. She opened windows and let fresh air move through the house. Mia helped, proud and happy, treating the space like a new world. As days passed, Anna settled into a routine. She cleaned, repaired small things, and explored the land around the house. She found a small garden behind the trees, overgrown but alive. The house began to feel less like a gift and more like a responsibility. One afternoon, Anna found another envelope hidden inside the desk. Inside was a letter written in careful handwriting. The letter spoke of regret, of missed chances, and of a promise to make things right. The stranger explained that the house was meant to be a place of rest, not ownership, a shelter for someone who needed it most. Anna folded the letter and held it close. She realized this was not the end of her struggle, but it was the beginning of something new. The house had given her safety, but the future would still require strength. As she looked at Mia playing in the sunlight, Anna felt a quiet determination grow inside her, ready to face whatever came next. The house slowly became part of Anna's daily life as days turned into weeks and weeks settled into a gentle rhythm. Each morning she woke before Mia, listening to the quiet sounds of trees and distant birds. The silence no longer felt empty but steady and supportive. Anna made simple plans for each day, choosing small tasks that gave her a sense of progress and control. She cleaned rooms one by one, wiping dust from surfaces and opening windows to let light move freely. The house responded in quiet ways, creaking softly as if stretching after a long sleep. Mia followed her everywhere, asking questions and inventing stories about who might have lived there before. Anna listened and smiled, grateful for her daughter's laughter filling spaces once forgotten. Outside, Anna began working in the overgrown garden. She pulled weeds with sore hands and uncovered patches of soil that still felt rich and alive. She did not know much about gardening, but she remembered her mother once showing her how to plant seeds. With patience and care, Anna began preparing the ground, hoping it would one day offer food and comfort. As she worked, memories returned more often. She thought about the life she lost and the mistakes she blamed herself for. She also thought about the stranger and his quiet kindness. His face stayed clear in her mind, calm and certain, like someone who had already made peace with his choices. Anna wondered what losses had shaped him and what promise had led him to leave the key in her hand. One afternoon, Anna decided to explore a small shed behind the house. The door was stiff, but inside she found tools neatly arranged and covered in dust. Everything had its place, showing care and order. She realized the stranger had visited often, maintaining the property, waiting for the moment it would be needed. The thought made her chest feel tight with emotion. Inside the shed, Anna found another small box. Inside were old photographs wrapped carefully in cloth. The pictures showed the house in brighter times, with a younger man standing proudly in front of it. In some photos, children played near the trees, smiling and unaware of the future. Anna understood then that the house carried a story much larger than her own. That night, Anna sat at the kitchen table and spoke to Mia about their future. She explained that the house was a gift meant to help them stand again, not a place to hide forever. Mia listened seriously, nodding as if she understood more than her years allowed. She asked if they could stay long enough to feel safe. Anna promised they would. Days later, Anna walked into the nearest town to look for work. It was a small place with familiar faces and cautious greetings. She did not hide her situation but spoke honestly about her skills and her need for a chance. Some people listened with sympathy, others with distance. Eventually, a shop owner offered her part-time work cleaning and organizing. It was not much, but it was a start. Each evening, Anna returned to the house tired but proud. She cooked simple meals and shared stories with Mia about her day. The house seemed to hold their voices gently, making even quiet moments feel important. Slowly, Anna began to believe she could rebuild a life with patience and effort. One morning, Anna found a final letter tucked beneath the kitchen table leg. The handwriting was familiar. The stranger wrote about a promise he once made to himself after failing to help someone when it mattered most. He explained that the house was meant to be given not sold, offered not claimed. He wrote that seeing Anna and Mia that day reminded him that timing matters as much as intention. Anna read the letter many times, letting the words sink deep into her heart. She did not feel pressure to repay the kindness. Instead, she felt responsibility to honor it. She decided that the house would not be just a shelter but a place of growth and healing. As weeks passed, the garden began to change. Small green shoots appeared, fragile but determined. Mia celebrated each new leaf as a victory. Anna watched closely, seeing a reflection of their own journey in the growing plants. Life returned slowly but steadily, guided by care rather than force. One evening, a car appeared on the road near the trees. Anna felt a moment of fear, then curiosity. The car did not stop and soon disappeared, leaving only dust in the air. Anna realized then that fear no longer controlled her reactions. She had found stability inside herself, not just within walls. The house had given Anna time, space, and safety, but the real change came from her choices. She no longer felt invisible. She felt grounded. As she stood on the porch watching Mia play near the garden, Anna understood that the house had opened more than a door. It had opened a path forward, one she was now ready to walk with strength and quiet hope. The final weeks of summer passed quietly as the house and the land around it continued to change with Anna and Mia living inside its walls. The rooms no longer felt cold or distant but familiar and alive with daily movement. Anna woke each morning with purpose and rested each night with calm instead of fear. The house had become more than shelter and now felt like a witness to their growth. Anna kept working at the shop in town and earned steady trust through her honesty and effort. People began to greet her by name and ask about Mia with gentle smiles. She no longer walked with her head lowered but carried herself with quiet confidence. Each earned coin felt meaningful because it was earned through dignity rather than survival alone. Mia started attending a small local school where she learned quickly and made friends easily. Her laughter returned fully, and her eyes no longer searched for danger. Teachers noticed her kindness and curiosity and spoke well of her progress. Anna listened with pride and relief as her daughter began to feel rooted again. The garden behind the house flourished with steady care. Vegetables grew strong and flowers added color to the once forgotten space. Anna spent evenings tending the soil while Mia helped and shared stories from her day. The simple routine created a bond between them that felt stronger than ever before. One afternoon, Anna noticed a familiar figure standing near the edge of the trees. The man stood quietly, as if unsure whether to step forward. Anna recognized him instantly and felt a wave of emotion rise inside her chest. She walked toward him slowly with a steady heart. The stranger looked older and more tired, but his eyes held the same calm recognition. He apologized softly for arriving without warning and explained that he wanted to see how the house had been treated. Anna thanked him for the gift and spoke honestly about the changes it had brought into their lives. The man listened carefully and nodded with quiet satisfaction. He told Anna that the house now belonged fully to her, and Mia in spirit, if not in name. He explained that his role was complete and that he felt peace knowing the place had found its purpose again. Before leaving, the man handed Anna one final envelope. Inside were documents that would help her secure the house legally and build a stable future. Anna felt overwhelmed with gratitude and promised to care for the place with respect and care. The man smiled gently and turned away, disappearing once more into the trees. Anna stood still for a long moment, holding the envelope close to her heart. She felt a deep sense of closure and understanding settle inside her. The kindness she had received was not meant to trap her in gratitude, but to free her to move forward. As autumn arrived, the house became warmer and brighter with the sound of preparation and growth. Anna made plans for improvement and long-term stability. She saved money and learned new skills while building connections within the community. Life no longer felt like a series of obstacles but a path shaped by choice and effort. One evening, Anna sat on the porch watching the sunset paint the sky with soft colors. Mia sat beside her, leaning into her shoulder and talking about dreams and plans. Anna listened closely and smiled, knowing that hope now lived openly between them. The house stood quietly behind them, strong and patient. It no longer waited, but belonged to the present moment. Anna realized that what changed everything was not just what she found inside the house, but what she found inside herself. Strength returned slowly, and trust rebuilt step by step. The journey had not erased pain or struggle, but transformed them into lessons and growth. Anna understood that kindness, when accepted with courage, can reshape a life. As night settled gently around the house, Anna closed the door, not with fear, but with confidence, knowing that whatever came next, they were ready to face it together.